very interested in speaking with you. I think you've had a big, you've made a big splash, and you're really opinionated, and I like any woman who's very opinionated, right? Especially if you believe what you're saying. So I know everybody. No, I mean that. I mean, I believe what I'm saying, and I believe that you believe what you're saying, right? I mean, and so this isn't a debate. I am interviewing her because the one thing I've learned from this election is how, not to be trite, but how divided we are and how little understanding I have of people that aren't necessarily like me. So I want to change that, and I want to be, you know, a little bit more edifying and alive. Do you feel that way?
Of course I do. I put myself in these situations all the time. The conservatives tell me I'm crazy, but how else are we going to get anywhere if we won't talk to each other? The echo chamber is the worst thing that we can do. So I appreciate you having me. I really do.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about you and your life and where you came from and how you got here.
Sure.
You grew up in South Dakota.
Yes, ma'am.
Brothers, sisters?
Only child.
Okay. Well, that's a start. I'm the youngest of 6. So yeah, I'm a spoiled baby. So tell me about South Dakota, tell me about your family, tell me about growing up, and like, you know, what was your childhood like?
Sure, well my parents are both blue-collar Americans. Both my parents grew up on ranches, working from the age of when they could walk up until through high school, day in, day out. Neither one of my parents went to college. They had to work, they worked hard, got married young. They're still together today, 35 years, but my parents just raised me to believe in hard work, in family values, and in the hard work ethic. That's really what it is. It's not even necessarily conservative values, though I believe that hard work for me is a conservative value, but that's how I was raised. I was come from a military family. My grandpa served in World War II in Iwo Jima. Uncle, Vietnam, from a heart recipient, was shot in the leg. So that's something that's near and dear to my heart as well.
What is, I mean, values is a great place to start, I think, because we can agree on certain values. We can agree on things that, you know, for me, I think it's an interesting topic of conversation, American values, because I don't think American values are necessarily different than any other country, although people try to make that distinction a lot. And what are your values? Besides hard work, yeah, I like to work hard too.
Right, well, so that's another thing that we have in common. We both also like 50 Cent, so there you go. There's another.
I never said I liked 50 Cent, I just had sex with him.
For the record,
Are you coming clean on something? He's definitely got a type.
I'm glad that, you know, I could get that one out in the open. But beyond that, values for me, as far as conservative values, I believe in limited government. That's my main thing. And I think that that's, in some ways, that's libertarian. But to me, everything is limited government. But I also believe in strong national security. I believe in border enforcement. I believe in low taxes. I believe in free market capitalism. Those are the values that I think, for me, that's what American values represent, because we are a free market capitalistic society, and that's why we're the richest nation on the face of the earth.
Yeah. So, but what about government's involvement in things like the police force or the Coast Guard or, you know, the military?
Well, government, of course, has a place. I'm not saying the government does not. I just believe that it's a limited role, and that's where I think a lot of conservatives and those that are on the liberal side would disagree. I don't think government does many things well. I think there are certain things that it does do well, and I think that there are areas, certainly the private sector does better, free market capitalism does better, and that's where I stack on healthcare. That's where I stack on.
But don't you feel like, as like a leading country, or we were, I mean, in the global community, the fact that we spend 70% of our gross domestic product on healthcare, the fact that people go bankrupt paying for healthcare, like, I understand about having limited government, I understand that argument, but what about human decency with people that cannot afford
And I understand that, but I also don't believe in the universal healthcare system. I believe that it fails the very people that it's intended to help. And I think that there are examples of that all across the world. I don't think that it's an effective method. It sounds good. It sounds good, but I just don't think that socialism, I don't believe that single-payer universal healthcare, we can see it. I mean, if you want an example, to me, if you want an American example, I look at the VA. If you look at the VA and you think that that is the model in which you want the rest of the healthcare system in the United States to function after? I certainly don't, because I know from personal experience that people go through hell in the VA system, long wait times.
Well, how would you like to see healthcare unroll? I mean, or roll out? What's your ideal?
Sure.
Just no involvement at all, just people just figure it out?
I think that there are common sense solutions, and you know, to me, I think that this discussion needs to be had, and I would like it to be bipartisan. I really would. I think that universal health care is a bad decision. I think it's a bad choice. I do believe in repealing Obamacare and also replacing it. There needs to be
It would be great. Repealing Obamacare would be fine if they had a replacement. Is the issue?
I understand. That's why I believe that we should have a 2-year sunset period in which we repeal it, and then we have 2 years. And I'm looking at Republicans too, saying, get your shit together. Get your shit together. Because they don't. That's where you and I might align as well. I'm not sitting here as someone that's the GOP establishment. I'm not even sitting here as someone that's just pro-Trump. I'm sitting here as someone that's just pro-America. And I look at the failures, which I think government fails us at every turn. Both parties. You and I probably agree on that. Both parties fail us. We need something different. And I think that can take place. It's just...
Yeah, I would like to see a lot more bipartisanship. I mean, regarding healthcare, I feel like what happened in the last couple of months, or maybe 6 months, I feel like has been really mean-spirited. Mean.
In what way, though?
I think the defunding, I think when people talk about repealing and replacing Obamacare, fine. Everybody, even Democrats, many Democrats, I won't speak for all of them, obviously, because, you know, whatever, I'm not going to speak for anybody but myself. I think a lot of people feel that there are problems with Obamacare. They admit it. They're not denying it. Nobody's pretending it's not an issue when premiums go through the roof and people can't afford it. But it also has helped, 22 million people.
But I think that 22 million people, I don't know if that's correct. It's not a correct number. 22 million people.
Well, no, that is a correct number.
But it's not. It's the people that are forced to buy healthcare. All those people are being forced to buy healthcare. So you don't force them, and then all of a sudden your number goes way far away from 22 million.
No, actually, it works better when everybody feeds into that economy. It does. It's proven. When people don't cheer after every fucking thing we say, please. Okay? We're not gonna flip over. Just let us have a conversation. Okay? Just be calm, please. It's proven in socialist countries, in England, in all of Europe, and Scandinavia, when people pay into a single payer system, when people pay, and that evens out the market. That's a fact. I mean, that's been proven over and over again. They don't have problems with health care.
They have waiting lists. And in the Medicaid system, to me the problem with Obamacare as well is that it made Medicaid an open-ended entitlement. It was supposed to be for those that truly need it, and it's expanded to the level where there are some that are feeding off of the system at the expense of middle-class Americans who are just above the threshold, but they're not low enough to be able to get fully subsidized. And those are the Americans that I care about as well, because those are the ones that are also really struggling.
Yeah, but I think we're all struggling. The idea is to help each other. I think the idea is I want to help. If my neighbor needs help and I can help him, I want to. I know that's not the most popular thing to say. Well, maybe it is. I mean, we're in LA, so it is popular here. But I'm like, where the fuck am I? I do want to help people. I want people to have health care. I want people to feel safe. I want people to pay into a system that's going to return the favor, if and when they need it. Most people end up needing medical care. It's not like elective, you know?
No, I understand.
It's kind of like a basic fundamental right.
Right, but not for me. I believe it is my right to purchase health care. I don't believe it's my right to pay for it for other people. I also think that we need a healthcare system. I think that fails the way people, because you and I, it's so easy to see, and I'm glad you don't. It's so easy for us to say, well, I could sit here and say, you just want government control, and you can sit here and say, oh, well, you hate sick and poor people. And that's a discussion I don't want to have, and luckily that's not what we're having.
Yeah.
But for me, we all want what's best for people. I just believe that limited government is the way to do it. I don't think that government does well in healthcare. I think it's proven by the VA that the government doesn't do well in healthcare. So we need to find alternatives. What's right now is not working. What we had before Obamacare was not working. I think you increase competition. I think that's the way to do it. And I also believe in allowing states to take more control. I think that will help them effectively manage their own citizens, because every state is so different. I think putting more in the hands of the states. If you have a state that needs to expand Medicaid and you need those Medicaid dollars, then that state needs to decide it for itself. But every state isn't created equal. And that's where I align on that. It's just, I think that the free marketplace does better than
Okay, so do you have a health care plan or no?
Well, luckily, I'm 24, so I am still with my parents. And to most conservative, most Trump supporters don't believe that every single tenet of Obamacare is bad. I do believe that allowing people to stay on their parents' health insurance until they're 26, I think that that is a worthwhile discussion and conversation to have. Now, for me, if that were taken away from me, I'm okay. I don't need it. If it's for the betterment of a free market system and healthcare is going to be better for it, I'm okay with that. But there are tenets of Obamacare that are positive. I do believe.
Oh, great. What?
I believe staying on your parents' health insurance. I do think that there needs to be a better method for pre-existing conditions. I agree with you on that. There are some conservatives that don't. I do believe that we need to have a mechanism for those with pre-existing conditions, and I think the Senate health bill did have those stipulations. Now, it's not perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's a lot of work to be done, but I think that one thing we can agree on is Obamacare is in a death spiral. So something.
It's in a death spiral, but it's in a death spiral being sabotaged by the President of the United States. Listen, one second. He could either, now that the bill hasn't gone through, a decent, I would argue, a decent human being would say, okay, let's do whatever we can to make the system that's in place work and thrive. It's not my bill, but instead, he's making it harder for people to sign up for Obamacare, and he's closing down of those 18 assistant help places that help you sign up for Obamacare. He's doing things that are just not presidential. I want the leader of the country to want me to succeed.
I think that he does, and I think that he's also, we have to understand that
He does not want me to succeed.
I can't speak for him personally, but I can tell you that the voters spoke. I mean, elections have consequences. I think the American people are not mean-spirited. We don't want to all kill each other. Let's hope this isn't the purge. But the American people voted in 2010, in 2012, and in 2016, and they said we don't want Obamacare. This is failing us. So we need to do something.
Okay, let's move on from healthcare. Okay, we both agree. Not nothing. I mean, we agree that it's not. But I appreciate your candor. Let's talk about Donald Trump.
USA! 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 You can't stop us, Chelsea.
What? Okay. Has there ever been an event that's happened in the last 6 months that you've stopped and said, wow, this guy's not right?
You know, agree with what every move someone makes, every tweet they send? No, I don't. But I do believe that the positives outweigh the negatives. I do believe that he's a good president. I do believe that he's done things. And people talk about all the time as well, he tweeted something, and that's mean. I can get over the meanness of his tweets. If he's helping middle-class Americans, if he's helping America, if he's putting America first, he's supposed to be someone on stage, if he's enforcing our border. I can deal with a mean tweet.
But why? But what? But a mean represents so many other things. He's kind of like a toddler, like an angry, he's a toddler. He lashes out at people, and he's vengeful, and he says really nasty things, and he's a crybaby. He's like, never in modern American history have we ever seen a crybaby of this nature serving as the president of the United States. He whines and bitches and moans, everything's unfair, it's unfair, it's unfair. He's the fucking president. Act like it.
In terms of tone, in terms of what he tweets, there are certain areas that agree with, but I will say this, there's not a president that's dealt with what this president is dealing with. When you have a media that is hell-bent on sabotaging this president, there are most members of the media that would rather see this president fail.
Take it down, please. This is not,
It's not about you.
Yeah, let's just calm down and let's listen.
There are members of the media, and I would say most, that would rather see this president fail than see the United States of America succeed, and I think there's a problem with that. I also believe this president cannot get his message out on mainstream media. He's not given the opportunity to. So he goes around and he goes on Twitter.
He's given everybody he has every opportunity to get it out on mainstream media.
When you turn on CNN and you sit there for 5 hours and you hear the same story about Russia over and over and over again, they cover nothing else. They cover nothing else.
It's a pretty big story.
Venezuela is a big story.
Venezuela is also a big story. It's a shame that we can't pay more attention to that. It would be great if we didn't have the distraction that is the president President of the United States, distracting from global issues. Chelsea, additionally, it would also be great if the President of the United States acknowledged the global community and respected the global
He
community.
just completed a G20 summit, which I believe he did fantastic. And beyond that, if you look at Venezuela, speaking of it, that is a prime example of how socialism fails.
We're not getting into Venezuela because that's another conversation. But let's focus on his behavior. Let's focus on his agenda. I mean, he has
Focus on his agenda.
He has
tired.
Well, right. Okay, so let's talk. So he just failed healthcare. They just failed miserably in control of all three, in control of the Senate and the House and the President. They can't pass
It
that.
failed, but I don't think it's President Trump. I think that there are 3 Republicans that need to answer for that because they campaigned for 7 years on repealing Obamacare, and they didn't, and they failed, and they took in a lot of money from a lot of donors that were expecting them to repeal Obamacare. That was the mandate for the American people, and they failed the American people. And those are Republicans, and I have no problem saying it. I think that they let us down.
But here's the thing: the repeal and replace. What they had started as a giant tax cut for the rich. There was no health plan. It was built around giving more money to the very, very top 10%, 1% of people. That's what it was built on. That's how they started their plan. That was the very first tenet of their plan. Tax cuts for the rich. How is that in the best interest of American people?
I think open-ended entitlement that is Medicaid is not in the best interest of even those that are on. Medicaid is not, people that are on Medicaid, it's better than nothing, but Medicaid is failing in many of the states of the very people that it's intended to serve. And it's because there are too many people enrolled in it, because when you make something an open-ended entitlement, there are people that are taking advantage of it that have no business taking advantage of it.
Why? Because they're lying about being poor?
No, because it erases their incentive to work. If you can get your health care free and you can be subsidized, why don't you work?
Because you have to earn money. Just getting your health care for free doesn't pay your
There
bills.
are other entitlements that help them there as well. That's the problem to me with the overgrown entitlement state.
Okay. So back to his agenda. What else? What else? I mean, like, what has he done that you're really like the executive orders, his repealing? I mean, half of the stuff he signed has been like kind of just undoing what Obama did. I think a third of the things that he signed into action. The others are executive orders, and then I think he renamed the library or something.
He's taking back about 15 or 16 regulations for everyone. So for someone that appreciates the government, that's something that I feel is a success. But beyond that, I mean, when you look at national security, we had an administration for 8 years that made our enemies stronger. They made China stronger. They made Russia stronger. They made Iran stronger. And now the tide is turning. And I also believe in terms of national security.
Now we're making Russia stronger. And China.
We're also putting sanctions on Russia.
Wait. Let's talk about the sanctions, because that's actually a great point. Because the Congress basically had to babysit him and force those sanctions through so that he had to sign them. I mean, he could veto them, but that would be really, he hasn't signed them yet. Right, exactly, thank you. But that's them, that's Congress coming and saying, we don't trust our president. That shit scares the fuck out of me. That our Congress has to babysit the man in charge, that doesn't scare you? He didn't come up with those sanctions. He doesn't probably even know what sanctions are yet.
At the end of the day, if they're in place, that's the President of the United States. And beyond that, what scared the ever-living hell out of me, Chelsea, was the Iran deal and the former president. And was orchestrated in the That's what terrifies me. And nuclear Iran, that's what terrifies me. And we're already seeing them flex their muscles. And finally, we've got a president that's not going to stand for that shit. And I appreciate it.
So you're saying you trust him?
I do. And here's why. He surrounds himself, and there are certainly places where this may not be true, but for me, especially now with our new chief of staff, he surrounds himself with people that are
Scaramucci!
leaders. You know what? The thing about Scaramucci, you guys can talk about it all day, but he's a former liberal, so he's one of yours. Remember that. Well, you can have him. His wife got through the roast yesterday. Did you read that?
I mean, this shit just keeps getting better and better. I now understand why people watch The Real Housewives. Like, I've never watched a reality show in my life because I think it's so cheap and dirty, and now I'm like watching one every day. I'm like, no, I get it. I want to start watching The Housewives. It'll be a nice day when that's my only option. So Scaramucci, right? okay, liberal, da-da-da, but people he surrounds himself with, it seems like a rotating kind of, there people are in and out a lot. There's a lot of shake-ups and staff movement there. That also doesn't feel good as a constituent. It feels unsteady and it feels
I can see where things might not feel good sometimes, but for me, I appreciate party chief of staff. I think that surrounding yourself with someone that served in the capacity that John Kelly has, I think it's important, and I think it's a strength of character, and I do think that there are several individuals. And listen, for those that are, I find it odd that there are some that are coming to the defense of Sean Spicer and Reince Priebus, like some liberals are suddenly cheerleaders for Reince Priebus and Sean Spicer, like now they're like, oh, my boy, no, you didn't like him. The same thing with John McCain. All of a sudden the liberals, they fucking love John McCain. Like, where was this in 2008? When you guys were savaging everything.
It is true, like honestly, that's very true, because it is true. You're like watching Jeff Sessions, I'm like, no, I need Jeff Sessions to say. Like, I hate Jeff Sessions, but I'm like, no, stop, no. It is funny. He makes you like hate people and then he makes you like them. But I think he kind of likes them. I mean, that's the drama of it. Unfortunately, that's better for like a TV show. So his agenda.
I do want to talk about national security though, because that's a big one for me. That means a lot to me. The thing that I'm seeing.
You scared?
No.
No. I mean about national security.
Oh, of course I'm scared, but I feel safer now, and I'll tell you why. Most of my friends do serve. Most of my friends are former military veterans. And for me, I have conversations with those people. It's not because I am those people. I have not served, but I like to speak to those that have. And they tell me that the morale has shifted tremendously, but beyond just morale, because I know that liberals like feelings, so I wanted to throw the morale in there. But beyond that, with the effectiveness...
You don't have feelings?
I just don't operate on them all the time. I have feelings. I tend not to always operate on them.
You do. It's good to have feelings. You're passionate, you have feelings, that's a feeling.
It's not good to have feelings when you're making big decisions.
I promise you I have feelings.
No, of course you have feelings.
I don't thrive, I don't run on them maybe as much as your typical liberal, but yes, I do feel things.
Okay.
It's a known fact. But going back to national security, because I really do think this is important. I know it's not like it's fun to talk about as feelings, but national security for me, what Trump is doing on the battlefield, it might not be in the headlines because CNN would never talk about it anyway, and I also don't think that sometimes ISIS or national security policy should be discussed heavily on TV. I think that that's a secret that should be kept safe. But he's empowering those to make decisions on the ground, whereas it used to take so long for it to go up the chain of command that your target's gone. Now he's empowering those that are on the ground to make decisions, make quick decisions.
He's also making decisions. He's also making decisions without really talking to his cabinet. He's making decisions that they're finding out about later. So for me, that feels really messy.
But not in terms of national security, though.
National security. Okay, we'll stay focused on that. Sorry, I'm a little ADD, so I'm all over the place. But continue your thought, and then I'll talk after.
For me, and that's just something that I've seen from a perspective of those that I've spoken to that are serving, that say we're able to make those lower level decisions, we're able to make on our own, we're empowered to do so, especially rules of engagement, we're actually able to fight a war and win a war, and I think that's important. We're talking about humanity's sake. My goodness, we can be effective in the Middle East. That's the biggest humanitarian project that we have.
Well, I mean, the very reason we have the Middle East problem, I think we've fucked with the Middle East for years and years, and they fucked with us, so I'm sure that would have been a problem. It's always been a problem, and it will probably always be a problem. I don't have confidence in Donald Trump's ability to strategically fix that problem. I don't have confidence in his ability to understand, to listen to people's advice who know more than him. I don't feel confident in having any of our military be sent on any mission that he's decided they should go on.
But they do. They do.
Maybe they do. I don't think you can speak for the entire military.
Of course not. Of course not.
No.
Of course not. But I do feel that there has been a morale shift. And beyond that, I disagree with you on that he doesn't listen to people that are close to him. He's a business person. Business people have to, and that's why he's bringing people out of the woodwork. A traditional so Jeb Bush, if Jeb Bush was our president right now, there's no way he would bring in a liberal that disagreed with him and said horrible things about him. There's no way, because it would be a threat to his ego. And I know that Trump, in many ways, operates off ego, but he is surrounding himself with people that are not your typical GOP establishment folks. There are folks that come from very diverse backgrounds. I appreciate that.
He likes generals. He likes people with big dicks. Yeah. And you know who else likes to appoint generals in their cabinet? People like the countries like Nicaragua, places where it's not fucking safe because it becomes a militia. We have generals serving as your chief of staff, this is a really scary endeavor.
So we'd rather have a politician?
Listen,
I'd rather have a general than a politician.
Wait,
I don't know about
you're
you.
only
I'd
allowed
rather
to
have
I'm actually
general.
general, so please refer to me as one.
Yeah. Am I a general?
I'd rather have a general as my chief of staff than a swamp rat politician any day.
Drain the swamp! Drain the swamp!
So where are you with the trans thing? You're not into trans?
For me, and I think this has been well documented
Nobody is.
through media.
I saw some tweet, but I didn't.
Well,
I
the
didn't
suicide
understand
rates are
it,
so
and
high.
I saw people tweeting about So
Sure.
elaborate.
Well, we're talking about the issue of LGBT, or are we talking about the military?
Let's start with the military.
Okay.
Oh no, start with the military.
Okay, we'll start with the military. So for me, reinstating the ban on transgenders in the military, I think was a very positive step. I do.
Yeah!
I'm trying to make a point that I think is very important. For me, it's not because I have anything against trans people. If those that follow me know me and know
You don't have anything against trans
people
people?
that follow me and follow my show before they know, stop. Just stop.
They discriminate all the time, you idiot. They wouldn't let me in because I have flat
I'm a
feet.
libertarian. When it comes to social issues, as been well documented, I don't care what the hell you do, I don't want to pay for it. That's why I align in those things. I am not anti-gay, I'm not anti-same-sex marriage, I am not anti most of the social issues. I'm not sitting here as someone, I don't take issue with those things. I don't care if you want to bake a cake, don't bake a cake, I
have
don't give a
flat
shit.
feet, for God's
What
sake,
I
they won't
care
let
about
me
is
in.
military effectiveness and readiness, and the facts are this.
There's the people
Transgenders in
protecting me.
military. Whereas I have acknowledged this time and time again, if you want to serve your country, as I know you said the other night, if you want to serve your country, that is perhaps to me the biggest sacrifice you can make in a very strong character trait.
Absolutely.
And anyone that wants to serve their country, I give an enormous amount of respect to those individuals. Whether you're trans, whether you're straight, I don't care what you are, I give you respect. And you deserve the utmost.
Transgender
But here's
people
the
have
thing, the military is
40%
not about the
suicide
individual.
rates,
It's
and
not
these
just
people want
about,
to give them
well, I want to
guns and
serve, so I
grenades.
should be able to. There are folks that have severe asthma that are not allowed to serve because of their severe asthma. So when you say transgender in the military,
Can you shut the fuck up, please?
you got a military.
I think they're going to be out
Oh
in the
my
field.
God! Someone got triggered. Someone got triggered.
Exactly. That's why
Hormone therapy, though.
Exactly.
That's why they have to stay home. So hormone therapy is a lot different than being like hopped up on pills.
I know, but they are not allowed to operate if they are medicated. So that means that they cannot deploy. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's not the fact that I
For a
work
period of time. For a period of time. There
That's
are plenty of
military
people that you can
readiness.
apply that to with injuries. I mean, it costs. Okay, you can apply that to anybody. They have a window after having, and not all of them are having surgical procedures. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And when they're having the surgical procedures, they're not scheduling it around the time that they're deployed. They're taking care of that, and then they're coming out there. Nobody's saying, "Hey, I want time off while we're in the middle of a war because I want my penis." No one's doing that. I mean, that's unreasonable. No one.
I agree with you. It is unreasonable, but it happens. The problem is
When
this.
did it happen?
When?
Who?
Chelsea Manning. Chelsea Manning is a prime example of taxpayers funding hormone treatment therapy for a traitor.
For a traitor!
Because I want to help you.
They're paying. I gotta tell you, in that military budget, that it would be $2.4 to $8.4 million that they would spend on hormone therapy when they're spending $45 million a year on Viagra and Cialis. Why do they spend so much money on Viagra?
I don't agree with that. But Chelsea, I have to tell you this.
Because you women want to
Until
get
we can
fucked, that's
afford
why.
treatment and prosthetics for the military and the veterans that have fought for this country, I don't believe in paying for a sex change.
Women need it more than men do.
And I don't understand that those who disagree with it. I understand that, but I'm not coming from a place of, I don't want you there because I don't want you to serve. I'm coming from a place where it affects military readiness, and the military has attested to that.
But then why don't you make a stand? I mean, why don't you make it an issue of yours to talk about how much money they spend on Viagra and forget about PTSD? This is just so men. I mean, some of it is for PTSD, and I guess guys have to come at some point, so they need it. And I get that. Fine, I'll give you that. But some of it isn't for PTSD. It's $45 million. Shouldn't you be focusing your energy towards that rather than people who are already?
Chelsea,
do you know how hard it is? I mean, I don't want to be condescending at all. But these people are volunteering to serve our country, and it's not easy for them to even walk out the door. Never mind walking to the
I'm not taking away from their bravery. I'm not taking away from their courage, their bravery or their character whatsoever. What I'm saying is the reason that I'm talking about this is because when a general comes, or those that are on the battlefield, they come and say, this is a real problem with someone that's on Viagra, not being able to serve, not being able to deploy, then that's an issue that's going to take precedence for me. But when it comes to effectiveness on the battlefield, I don't believe that the military is a place for a social experiment. I don't believe it's a place for feelings. And
I don't think it's
there we go.
I don't think it's a social experiment because the trans community, they're not going away. It's only going to get bigger. This is 2017.
Yeah, they're not even 1% of the population.
Gay people are not going anywhere. Soon they're going to probably take over.
Well, the most.
So.
Wow, there's their agenda right there. There's their agenda.
It's not a problem that's,
Actually, once we let the Muslims in, they're all dead.
Can't be put on it, and we can just
the
turn
gays
around
and the trans.
And say we're just going to leave that specter of society out. We're not going to. It's just not reasonable as we evolve and as we move forward. It's just not the way it's going to go.
In the military, the transgender community, or those that want to serve that are transgender, that is such an incredibly small demographic. The things and the mechanisms that need to change to accommodate that small of a demographic.
I think for the demographic, the 2.4 to 8.4 million is well worth it. I think those people need to be patted on the back every single fucking time we can do it. We want to make people feel accepted. We want to make people feel whole. We want to work together. This is a community. It's a country.
As we sit here, that's what I want everyone in this room to feel accepted. I want everyone in this room to feel tolerated and loved.
Furries.
When you're on the battlefield and you need to take out ISIS, I want you to be able to execute the mission. That's what I care about. The military is not like every other job. The military is not. And if you're people die. In the military, when you make bad choices, when you do something that might not quite work out, when you have people there that might not be of sound mind because they're in a position where they're having hormone treatment therapy. Also, we have to consider the fact that the suicide rate for the transgender community is incredibly high.
Incest too.
But it's not.
They're not related either.
It's not. Gender dysphoria is still recognized as a psychological condition. It still is recognized as a psychological. It's still. But it is. Not
it's
you
not.
and I. Not you and I looking at someone saying this is how you are. But it is still recognized that way.
Watch,
So you're saying someone like that is going out
next.
onto the battlefield, and you're saying that you might not be of sound mind or body at that point when you're receiving treatments, and you say that you might not be able to be deployable, or when you are deployable, you might not be able to be effective. That's where I take issue. And we can agree to disagree on that one. But I want people to know that it's not coming from a place that we don't want you. It's coming from a place of what's best for the mission. And the military is not just about the individual.
Well, what about if Donald Trump just stayed home for 2 weekends? I mean, we could pay for it with that money.
I thought he was always golfing. I'm
going to take 2 weekends off.
I thought he was always golfing.
And I'm going to pay so that the trans community can be in the military, and I'm going to put that money towards that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
But it's not just about money. It's not just about money, like I said. But I didn't remember you taking issue when President Obama went golfing or on trips to Hawaii with his family.
President Obama in 8 years didn't spend what President Trump has spent in 6 months. I looked it up. That's a fact. That's just a fact. But okay,
He's like, I Googled it.
Let's move on to something else.
He spent his own money.
Do you want to talk about anything, or do you want me to just keep? I'm fine to do it.
He's had the cheapest campaign ever.
Anything? Yeah, no.
And he doesn't know how to
I like
work
this.
money.
I think this is very.
Huh?
I need to start drinking. Okay, so
Yeah, she's an alcoholic.
let's get back to Trump and your
she pays
loyalty.
pay
Is there a red line
She just
of something he could
doesn't like him.
do that would be too much?
First of all, my loyalty doesn't lie with Donald Trump. My loyalty lies to an American First agenda. I wasn't always a Trump supporter. I was actually a Marco Rubio supporter.
That's almost worse, though. I mean, he's kind of.
He's what?
He's just like a. He's like a non-man.
He's a what?
Like a non-man. Like
how do we go, Chelsea? How do we go from talking about the feelings of transgenders to you saying Marco Rubio is a non-man?
Yeah!
Feelings. I don't wait for Marco Rubio doesn't have feelings. You calling him a non-man, questioning his gender?
I'm not getting feelings. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm saying I don't find him to be masculine.
But I thought gender was.
And
just
your beta males are?
No, don't try to link them. Those two thoughts are not connected at all. I'm not talking about his gender.
Okay.
I'm not saying, he's trans. That's
Oh no.
Was it me?
Who's manly? Anthony Weiner? He's one of your guys.
So you should appreciate President Trump and then his
No, I don't
meanness.
think, I'm not the president though. Like, I don't have a responsibility to 320 million people.
He wasn't either when he ran, and you still had a problem with him.
You don't even know.
It's a lot. You know what? I think that, like, when you say something about, you know, when you bring up Marco Rubio, you supported Marco Rubio.
He wasn't president when the
how
Billy
did
Bush thing came out, and
He
they
fell
had a
out, and then is that how you started supporting Trump, or did they approach
Fucking
you? Like, do you have a relationship with Donald Trump?
I do not.
Have you ever met him in person?
I've met him in person.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it's not about Donald Trump. It's about the agenda. It's about America first. What spoke to me and millions of other Americans was a strong border, was making the military a capable fighting force. Once again, it's empowered. It's tax cuts. It's free market capitalism. It's limited government. It's repealing and replacing Obamacare. It's greenlight. It's energy independence, greenlighting the Dakota Access and Keystone pipelines. Those are the things.
Yeah! Get that pipeline.
So, when you say it's not about him, it feels like everybody's always talking about their loyalty to Donald Trump. He's an incredible leader. Jeff Sessions said it yesterday.
Well, you're loyal
he's
to
an
Obama,
incredible
so
leader.
what the
His
fuck?
comments about me are hurtful, but he's an incredible leader. Ryan's Priebus are like it's never about America. It's always about Donald Trump.
We're the party
But I'm not
that
ready
walks
to
around
do
red,
this.
white, and
I
blue.
believe
When
that
do
it is
liberals
about
wear
America.
red,
I do.
white, and blue?
And
Ever.
for me, if Donald
They
Trump
burn the
were
flag.
to not stand up for those things that I believe and that I hold so dearly, if he were not a hardliner on immigration, on national security, on limited government, on repealing and replacing Obamacare, yeah, I will say something.
But none of that stuff has, aside from a little with immigration, has really started to take effect. So the issues that you stand behind and espouse, he hasn't proven to deliver on. So when is he going to do it?
In terms of energy independence, it has. He's greenlighted 2 pipelines, which is going to be great for American
Look at the
jobs.
stock
And then we don't
markets
have
are
to
up
say
20%.
energy
Stock
independence
markets are up
and 2 pipelines
20%.
that He's greenlighted.
They're like, oh, the road's not built yet.
That's jobs for
Renewable
America.
energies, though, is the way of the future. It's the 20% growth each year in our economy.
And
It's
that's
the
great.
fastest growing economy in this country. And he's worried about coal jobs, which tap out at 80,000
But how come
jobs.
how
There
come-
are 80,000 total coal jobs in the entire country. That's it.
But Chelsea, how come those people, when we're discussing what jobs and what people matter, how come a coal miner and their job and their livelihood and their ability to support their family, how come they're seen as less than or they're...
They're not seen as less than, but times are changing. We're moving on. It's manual labor. They can install solar energy panels. They can
That's what he wants for the
retrain
wall.
and get a new
That's
skill
what he
set.
wants for the wall.
You say that, you're taking away from those communities that thrive on those things.
I can't just say I love being on TV and then, you know, and then TV's obsolete and I'm like, no, I can't do anything else.
No,
it's like
but
you
it's
have
not
to
about
adjust
that.
and you have to adapt.
You do, but you have to give those people
Yeah, and you do
10
too
years
to the
do it as
president.
well. When you strangle the coal industry and you put those people out of jobs, you're not just putting coal miners out of jobs, you're putting the local restaurants around there, the local convenience stores, those that serve those people, those that wash those cars, that cut the hair, all those people lose their jobs. And it has a greater effect on those economies than just 80,000 coal jobs, because an economy is affected by those people.
But there's a whole other economy that's growing and robust. And it's good for our air and clean water. Why would we not lean into that? There's a whole other economy. They can learn how to install solar panels. They can learn manual labor jobs. They can retrain. They can.
I understand that there's an incredible power in solar and in other resources. I'm not saying that those
Not
aren't something
wind,
that should be
that kills
cultivated.
birds.
But just to go ahead and cut people off at the knees and say, find something else to do, because...
Who was that? That was a perfect time to say that.
We're energy independent. We don't have to rely on unstable places like Venezuela for so much of our oil. Because the fact of the matter is, we still rely on oil. We still do. We can't all go and drive solar-powered cars tomorrow or 5 years from now or even 10 years from now. We still rely on oil. And we're going to need to produce that. So we're going to produce it here and we can create good-paying American jobs. And we don't have to rely on Iran.
Or we could get it from Venezuela and help their economy.
So that the government can suck that money into and the people can die in the streets? That's what happens. And socialist
How
countries...
terrible their economy is. It's because no one's buying oil in Venezuela. That's why their economy
It's
is
because
bad.
their economy is based on socialism. Their economy is a socialist
And also no one's
society.
buying oil from Venezuela.
But if that's the only thing that you have to support your country is
You
one
just
resource.
said that's their economy. I mean, you just said that. That is their thing. That's their main export, Venezuela.
There is their
oil.
main export. But look what they're doing to their people. If we were able to sanction them, if we were able to not buy so much Venezuelan oil, they're going to have to make a change. We aren't rewarding bad behavior. And yeah, it's a humanitarian crisis in Venezuela, but it's not one that free market capitalism created.
But do you feel like it's a humanitarian crisis that we would get involved in?
Yes. It's a humanitarian crisis. We need to look at it. We need to understand. Also, sanctions are a way that we can get involved in a direct and indirect way. But beyond that, we need to look at Venezuela and say, this is the fruits of socialism. This is what it looks like when you rely on
socialist countries that are highly functioning. Look at Tokyo, which is not socialist per se, but I mean, look at Japan. You look at their 99% literacy. Look at Finland. Look at Denmark. Look at Sweden. People are socialists, and it's fucking. They're killing it. They're killing it. They have more doctors. They have low suicide rates.
They also have no military. All the people are raped.
Want to school by themselves in Tokyo. I think they're.
All the people are the same race. They have small population.
It's bad when it's profligate.
And they have no military. That's why they have the land for it.
Leader, a despot running a country. Then it's really, really fucking bad.
That's how socialism.
Then it's a dictatorship.
Exactly. Socialism starts with the promise of free things. And it ends with the black market for toilet paper. That is the progression of socialism.
Yeah. They're eating zoo animals.
Okay. What did you meet Donald Trump? What did he say to you?
What's that?
I met him once, Donald Trump. What did he say?
Yeah. What did I think? I was at some restaurant in Hollywood, and he came out and he's like, he's like, I'm Donald Trump. This was like 8 or 10 years ago. I have no sense of time. It could have been yesterday. And he said, hi, I just want to introduce myself, I'm Donald Trump. And he walked away from the table, and I looked at my friend, and I was like, he's not as disgusting as I thought he would be.
10 years ago.
And she's like, he's pretty disgusting.
Oh, okay.
So that was my only experience. When did you, don't you kind of, are you not, I know you're not in any sort of official capacity with the White House, but.
No, I haven't seen Donald Trump since CPAC of 2015. That's when I met Donald Trump.
Okay, how was that experience?
That was when he was contemplating running for president. So it was, kind of watched that in the making. So I thought he was a very nice man. He did call me about 2 months ago and was very nice and very appreciative.
Did he see you on TV? He loves TV.
He does love TV. That's
Doesn't
okay.
everybody?
Did he tell you were doing a good job on TV?
Facebook, actually.
Oh, he's watching Facebook?
Well, my videos tend to be on Facebook.
Yeah. So he was watching one of your videos on Facebook.
I don't know if he was watching my videos, but I do a series of videos, and
I know all about it. Yeah. But was he online on Facebook?
No, I don't think. I think that he was thanking me for my ability to influence certain segments of the population during the election, because I think my videos had a poll on some conservatives that were elected.
They definitely did. Good for you. I mean that. Good for you. I think you believe what you're saying. What about? Like all the lying.
I thought we were talking about Trump. Why are you bringing Hillary into this?
Oh! Whoa!
The difference between Hillary and
Lock her up! Lock her up! Lock her up!
Don't remind me, I know. I wake up every day to see that horror show.
But the difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton's kind of not is a moot point, I think, because she didn't win. So the one that is in the White House is consistent, and we have it like, it's not even just maybe he's lying. We have it like written in tweets where he constantly contradicts himself, where he says one thing, he changes his position on things over and over again. Does that not make you feel, that makes me feel very uneasy too. I don't like when people lie, like one after another. Like they say one thing and then they say another thing. That makes me feel unsafe. Might be something from my childhood, I don't know.
It makes me feel unsafe as well, which is why I didn't elect Hillary Clinton. When we look at lies, we look at the lies that are being told. When the left looks at Trump's tweets and they say, well, in 2005 he tweeted this, and then yesterday he tweeted that, and they go, liar. I'm thinking, we look at Hillary, what she did in a capacity as Secretary of State. She's a government official.
But stop talking about Hillary didn't win.
I know, what I'm saying is, the way that
he's lying almost daily. It's really scary to be lied to by the person
that's
supposed
no blame for those people, but only we take blame for ours.
What did he lie to you about?
What did he lie to me about? I mean, where do I start?
Hillary lied about Big Pussy!
He says he doesn't say things. I mean, there's a whole list, but I don't want to read a list.
Can we just get one? Just get one.
All right. He
really have
China
a
was
list?
a currency manipulator, and now China's not a currency manipulator. Nothing's changed. He just decided that it was different.
Well, China is a currency
He
manipulator.
he says it's not now. He says it's not a currency manipulator. That's his latest. He said he was going to have Janet Yellen reserve from the Federal Reserve, she wasn't going to renew her at the Federal Reserve chair when her time was up, almost like they replaced her. And then he said, no, I'm going to keep her.
But changing your mind isn't the same as lying.
Well, yeah, that's true. Right. No, it's not the same. But he does, I mean, there
Kind
are...
of like if you like your health insurance, you can keep it.
He actually...
What happened to closing Guantanamo? Obama's a liar.
Actually apologized for that statement, something this president has never once done. Never once apologized for changing his stance or for lying. And he did lie. He lied about the crowds in the inauguration. He lied about...
No. Watch live streams.
I
No,
understand
that's
what
fake
you're
news.
saying.
Watch the live
He
stream.
exaggerates. He uses hyperbole.
Don't
When you say, well, the crowds weren't as big, Donald Trump, it's like, that's a lie I can live with. I'm sorry, when he's like, the crowds were huge. Okay, the crowds weren't as huge as you said they were. I can live with that. Just being honest, that's not something that keeps me up at night. I'm like, God damn it, he lied to me about the crowds.
He didn't lie though. You gotta watch the live streams. They took a picture on a live stream an hour early and said that was the inauguration. If you watch the live stream, when it actually started, it was actually packed.
That's why. He said he wasn't going to do that. He said he was not going to do that. He was not going to help Wall Street. He's making so much money off of his presidency through the Trump Hotel in D.C., through all of his properties. He's bringing heads of state to his private properties.
Because Obama's spying on him. That's why he's not there.
And he's
Or the
obviously
leakers.
wrong about something if he won't reveal his tax
That's why he won't go to the White
He's got big
House.
lies that we don't even know about.
What about the Rachel Maddow revealed?
He's got leakers
That was
and
one tax
Obama's
return.
spying.
That was one tax return. That was the only one, and I'm sure Donald Trump
Okay,
not
so
going to
you're
release
saying-
that
so you're
because it was
saying-
the only time he paid fucking taxes.
But Chelsea, when you're saying that because
What are you talking about? He paid over 25 million in
taxes
taxes in 1 year.
It means that there's some kind of a lie.
When he sat and pressured Barack Obama to show his birth certificate to the American people,
Because his
something no
brother's a
president
Kenyan.
in the history
He's
of
a
our
Muslim
country
Kenyan,
has
his brother.
ever had to do, because it's demeaning and degrading and racist.
His brother has 4 wives, for God's sake.
He did. And President Obama showed his birth certificate, and then he has the temerity to say he's not going to release his tax return, something every president has done in modern history. Every single one.
We can fact check that. It's probably not true.
I understand that your
That's
desire for
when
transparency.
somebody withholds. That feels a lot like a lie.
I agree with you. And
Yeah,
that
what is the
why
DNC
I
doing with their
deleted
server?
33,000
Withholding it.
deleted emails. It's not the thing that frustrates
Why is the
me.
DNC withholding their servers?
Refer back to Hillary. This isn't about Hillary.
I know it's
this
not.
is about what we're dealing with.
You
in
voted
this
for it.
situation. This is our president. Hillary's in the woods. We've all heard about it.
I know, Chelsea.
Let her in the woods, okay?
I understand I'm agreeing with you. Your desire for transparency is not one that I am trying to delegitimize because I understand where you're coming from. What I'm saying is it frustrates me from the left, particularly the mainstream media, when they are so enraged that Donald Trump won't release his tax returns, when they're so enraged about a lack of transparency and then they say that he lies to them. But at the same time, they said that Hillary's emails were a nothing burger. They said, oh, don't worry about the Clinton
See, they don't want to take blame for anything. These people don't want to take blame for
It's not a
anything.
double standard because they had 2 FBI investigations and they didn't find anything. What else do you want? They're done.
And
But she's not the president. She's not doing anything
those
that
were by
affects you. So
liberals.
fuck
Of course
Hillary.
they didn't say
Fuck
anything.
Hillary. We have to deal with this baboon. So let's deal with him.
I'm not saying you're defending every single thing Trump does. I believe in transparency, I really do. But what I'm saying is the thing that bothers me is the way the media, this faux outrage at Trump. To me, it's like they completely negate anything that Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or Debbie Wasserman Schultz or Donald Brazil or any of them have ever done. They completely negate it, don't talk about it, it's nothing. But everything President Trump does, from how many scoops he has in his ice cream cone, to what he's tweeting, to how mean he is,
There we go.
I analyze to the nth degree for 5 or 6 hours a day. That's what's frustrating to
Are you
me.
intrigued?
Yeah, I think it's frustrating to a lot of us. It's really frustrating to have to listen to that all day long. I agree. I don't like it either.
Turn off CNN then.
About what he's doing all day or his ice cream or any of that. I want something that I want government. I want to feel safe if we get attacked by North Korea. I want to know that there's somebody in that office that is going to have the best interest of this country at heart. And
he does. America first.
I think he has such personal self-interest. That does not bleed over into other people. He doesn't show loyalty to anyone. So how can
really? Why is his family in positions of power then?
Like, how is that possible?
No loyalty?
When you say loyalty, you're talking about like those like Jeff Sessions or Rice Priebus
whatever,
or those
staff and
For me, if you have to get rid of staff members, I don't know what's going on in the inner workings of the White House because I'm not in there. But if he felt that that was a necessary step to take because there were leaks going on, because if there were problems that couldn't be wrangled, because it was just not the right choice, that wasn't a fit for his administration and his White House, he needs to get rid of those people. I don't look at that as disloyal. Look at that as someone who's making the best decision for their administration.
Taunting somebody publicly, your attorney general on
business.
Twitter. You don't think that that's disrespectful?
I disagree with it.
You disagree?
I do disagree with
It's
that.
humiliating. I mean,
As Larry Elder said,
General,
Obama fired his chief in 100 days. Rice Priebus went on 189.
To have your boss berate you publicly. Doesn't
That's
feel
never
like...
happened to me before.
Oh.
How is your relationship with Glenn Beck going?
Who's that?
Glenn Beck is a cuck! Glenn Beck is a cuck!
He fired you were, that was a big, you're not allowed to talk, are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I'd rather not. But we can
He
get
takes
into
money from the Clinton Foundation.
We have to wrap it up anyway.
We were just having so much fun.
I know, it was fun, it's lively. I love these kinds of conversations. I really like, and I like you. I think that,
Here we go, guys. Liberals getting triggered, so they're leaving. As usual. Go back to your safe space.
All right, so let's go out on a vote. Like, let's go out on something that we can both agree on. Would you kill a baby? I wouldn't kill a baby.
No, I would not.
I would kill a baby. I would never do that. Would you hit a baby? I would not hit a baby.
No.
But I would curse at a baby. I definitely would curse at a baby. Let's go out on, let's talk real quickly about what you're going to do next. What are you going to do? What's your plan? Are you going to work at Fox? Are you going to do your own thing? I know you have a huge Facebook following, YouTube. What's your...
First of all, let me say, when I saw what you did in your career move, I thought that was brave and bold, and I applauded you for it. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, but you leaving me and going to Netflix, I thought that was bold and courageous, and that's something that, even though we disagree on most things, I respect what you did. I hope to maybe follow that kind of a path. I don't know what's next.
I want to go to E and then Netflix?
I don't think you or Netflix would like me. Maybe Netflix, but no. For me, I have some things in the works that I can't quite discuss yet, but I'm not going anywhere. So for those that hate me, get used to it.
Yeah!
Thanks for sitting down with me. Thank you guys for coming.